And today we're going to be going over how to use calls, meetings, as well as using some of the third-party services that they can connect to in Sugar, such as Webex, and what sort of advantages you can get from that. So let's just jump right in. There's a couple of ways to go about creating a call. The most obvious way is via the primary navigation right here. You can just mouse over that and go to log a call. If your instance of Sugar looks a little bit different, it may be that this is version 6.5.0, so it's a little bit newer, and they made some changes to the primary navigation. You all may also have calls, meetings, and whatnot over here underneath the More section. But if you mouse over that, it'll expose the rest of your modules. So another way, in professional or commercial versions of Sugar, prior to 6.5 but starting at 6.0, there was a series of quick create icons across the top, so that would be a very quick way to log a call. In 6.5 they've compressed that over here, so we can see there's the quick create to log a call right there. So I'll go ahead and click that just to show you what it looks like. So we'll just say that this is a support case, and we can immediately pull up the account that this is related to. This uses a flex relate, so if we wanted, we could relate it directly to a contact if that made sense in your business, or any of these modules right here, you can relate the call directly to that. In this case, we'll go ahead and relate it to the account because we're considering this a support call. And then the user can just take notes right here. So alright, so now the user can just save it. Hopefully they're resolving support cases that quick and move right along. Another way that they could go about it would be, as soon as they receive the call, they could ask the caller what their name was and pull up their record. This way they could maybe have a little bit more information about that user, make sure that they're a user in the system, and perhaps there's some custom fields in this module that would indicate that this particular user does have access to support, and maybe even a PIN or a call-in number to make sure that the caller isn't just impersonating this person, especially in the case of resetting a password. So by going directly to the record, you can confirm some of that and then create the call from the subpanel right here. So another quick way to quickly log the call and get that information into the system. Let's go ahead and cancel out of this and show one more place where we can make a call. So let's go to our calendar, and we can just click directly on the calendar. So this makes a little bit more sense for when you're planning calls out, not necessarily taking incoming calls. Maybe you know that you told the caller that you'd call him back tomorrow at 10 a.m. So you just click on the calendar where the time that you want it to occur, and update user on status. And this would most likely be an outbound call because you said you're going to call them back. At this stage it is planned, and we'll go ahead and relate it directly to our contact in this case. And we'll say it's going to be a 15-minute call. You can send invitations to the users to make sure that they're aware that the call is going to be coming in, and I believe that comes in like an attachment that they can add onto a variety of calendars. So we'll go ahead and save this, and so now that's a fourth way that you could create a call in Sugar. So now when we go back to the calls module, you can see that the two we've created so far are just listed in the calls list view here. So this is a brand new demo instance, so those are the only two records in here. But this starts to build the basis of what you can make your reports off of. Obviously these calls were assigned to the current user logged in, which is the administrator right now, and that is what you could leverage to determine how many calls per day this user is making, or if you get tricky, you could determine how much time they're spending on the phone and things like that. So there's some color feedback to indicate that this call has actually, it's very close to about to happen, because this is less than 10 minutes away. This one's still in black because it's planned, and if we were to go past this date, then this turns red to indicate that you're a little late on that call. The next thing that we want to talk about would be meetings. So pretty much everything we just covered with calls is almost exactly relevant for meetings. So we'll start at the meetings list view, and notice that we don't have any records here yet. We could schedule a meeting right here from the navigation, or it is also in the quick creates here. Let me expand that. Schedule a meeting there, and of course, just like before, we can go to the user's record and schedule a meeting via the activity subpanel right here. So we'll go ahead and take that route this time. So maybe this would be like a face-to-face. Notice that we do have meeting types, so we could use Webex, and there's also a connector to use GoToMeeting if that's the software that you prefer for web conference type meetings. And I believe Lotus Live can also be integrated into here so that you can make direct Lotus Live connections right in Sugar, which is really handy. So now we're going to meet via the interwebs. So we're going to go ahead and make this Webex. Notice that as soon as we set that, we had the opportunity to set a password here, and then when it sends the invitations to the users that you invite, it will send the password along to them. So let's go ahead and relate this to our contact. Good old Testinthia. And we'll schedule this meeting for tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. It's going to be 45 minutes. Alright, so go ahead and save this. Alright, so now we have the call that's scheduled with our contact, as well as the meeting that we just made. Now because it's a Webex meeting, notice this different icon here. You can actually start the meeting directly from the list view, or the subpanel list view rather, and this will start the meeting immediately. Say tomorrow it's 4:30, I'm about to start this meeting. I don't have to go figure out what my Webex password is, log into Webex, and launch the meeting from there. Rather, because I've already saved that information in Sugar, I can just launch it right from there. So we're not actually going to meet with Testinthia right now, so we'll go ahead and close down the Webex. But let's hop back into our calendar, and we'll see that the meeting that we just created has also been added to the calendar right there for us. We also get some color coding to indicate that the blue are meetings and the red are calls. And we can edit some information about either of these items just by clicking on it, and it'll open up the quick edit for us. And you can even move them around, kind of like you're used to with a lot of other calendaring software, or you can drag to make it last a little longer. So some nice UI features right there. We can also switch to a day view if you're really busy and you have a lot of calls or meetings going on. You can switch into this format, or if you just want a big month overview, quickly see what things are looking like, and the most useful of all, a year. There's also shared calendars. So in this particular system, we don't have any other users, but you can stack your calendar and compare it next to other users' calendars to see if you both have something going on at the same time.